So you like the idea of getting a promotion or maybe a big raise, but you don't like the idea of promoting yourself. Hi, I'm Jen Mueller, author of The Influential Conversationalist, and I get it. But I also get that being able to talk about yourself and promoting your accomplishments is a huge thing to getting the next opportunity in your career. It's one of the reasons that I am in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm promoting my latest book, The Influential Conversationalist, and giving you a blueprint to follow when it comes to promoting yourself. So here's what we're going to cover. We are going to talk about the importance of identifying your value proposition and the benefit of utilizing that in a buddy system. And we'll also discover how to exploit a common conversation loophole to utilize a success statement. But first, we're going to start with just a willingness to jump in. So the reason I came to Minneapolis was to work Radio Row. It's part of the events leading up to the Super Bowl. And as the sideline reporter for the Seahawks, I have actually covered that a couple of times. I knew that there would be an opportunity to talk to people on their radio shows, but I didn't know who was going to ask me to do that. It's really no different than arriving at a conference and being expected to work a room. The plan I made for promoting myself in 2 days is one that works for you too. It starts by identifying your value proposition. You didn't just happen upon this opportunity. The skills, experience, and expertise you need didn't just come to you overnight. And it's not just going to pop into your head when you meet a stranger. Outline your value prop before you get to the big moment. I created a one-sheet for the hosts on Radio Row. I included a short bio, a few career accomplishments, and a few topics that I could talk about on one of their shows. It's kind of like a resume, but tailored to reaching a specific outcome. I realize you probably don't need to distribute one-sheets to the people that you talk to, but you do need to be crystal clear about what you would put on that document, because that's your value proposition. It's what you bring to the table, and it's what your target audience needs to hear. When you can identify why you are the right person in that situation, it is easier for you to communicate that to others. It's also easier for an advocate to know what to say on your behalf. Now, I strongly recommend using the buddy system. Don't try to go it alone. Number one, it's going to take a little bit of the pressure off of you to always be the person saying good things about yourself. But number two, when you've got an advocate, well, it also lends a little bit more credibility to you and your rock star skill set. Of course, none of this matters if you're not willing to tell people what you've done. And let's be honest, the fear isn't that people won't think you're amazing, because you totally are. The fear is they'll think you're bragging, which is why you need a success statement. A success statement highlights your success, connects what you are doing to what the other person needs, and exploits a conversation loophole, like being asked this question: how are you? Instead of saying fine or good, you need to say something that gives the other person a clue as to who you are. For example, saying, I'm excited to promote my latest book on Radio Row and talk football, is a way to highlight a success, gives the reason I was in Minneapolis in the first place, as well as demonstrating that I'm the right person to talk to because all the sports radio guys are there to talk football in the days leading up to the Super Bowl. It's easy peasy, and it's way more effective than answering the "how are you doing" question with fine and hoping that somebody asked me why I was there. Here's the end result. Making a conscious effort to use success statements, being able to communicate my value proposition, and utilizing the buddy system led me to exceed the number of radio appearances I hoped to get. I got international coverage thanks to interviews in Canada and London. I tallied more than 3 hours of airtime and promoted The Influential Conversationalist to hundreds of thousands of people who hadn't heard about the book previously. In addition, I initiated relationships with several radio hosts who would like to call me throughout the year. That's extra exposure. Promoting yourself is an important skill. I know it's not always comfortable, but now at least you've got a blueprint to follow, and I'd love to hear how it goes. If you would love more conversation strategies, ones that you can actually use in these situations, make sure you buy the book, The Influential Conversationalist, available on Amazon.